everybody, and welcome back to the modern Green Bay and Western on WiscoTrains. My name is Gabe, owner of the layout, and today we're working on a project that A, I didn't plan on doing for this video, B, I've been avoiding, and C, I kind of knew was going to happen one day and it needed to get done. So what is this project? Well, it's electrical in nature. I am not a big fan of the electrical side of model railroading. That's why I'm so glad we have ready to run trains where I can just put it on the tracks, program it with DCC, and start driving some trains. I'm much more on the artistic side of model railroading. The technical stuff is a little bit more than I want to get into sometimes, but it's a necessary and important part of having a good running model railroad. So what are we going to do? It's going to be electrifront. So what are we going to be doing? It's going to be powering the frogs of my large curved turnouts. I have 3 on the layout. I'm just going to do 1 because I've never done this before. This is a bit of an experimentation, and I want to see how well it goes before I do the other 2. First, and other reasons being, one of them I can't do because I don't have fascia in. I could do it, but it wouldn't be very convenient. And the other one actually works pretty well without me putting power to the frog, but I know it's going to be necessary. So we're going to end up doing that one. But yeah, this is just going to be kind of an experiment one. So this is a just watch along and see how bad I screw it up and not a how-to video. Okay, so we're over here on the west end of the Foxy yard, and this is the switch that leads to the west end of the yard. And it is an Atlas curved turnout. The inside, or I guess outside radius here would be 21.25 inches, and the inside is 15 inches. And I have 3 of these on the layout, as I have 3 places where a curved turnout works really well. So what do I mean by powering the frog? If you don't know, this piece of metal right here is the frog. And it might be a little hard to tell, but there is actually gaps in the rails here, 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 and here. So this, even though it's metal, is not powered. And the reason it's not powered and is isolated is because when the switch is thrown, it has to go back and forth between 2 different polarities. So if we say that this rail here is positive and this rail is negative, when you want the locomotives to go through the straight route, it has to be positive. And when you want it to go on the diverging route, it has to be negative. And you can't have both at the same time or you'll cause a short. So most are either plastic or isolated like this one, made out of metal. Where this causes issue is on shorter wheelbases of locomotives. So on my SD70 ACE, you can tell it's long enough that with pickups on both trucks, it's able to continue receiving power. But what I found out, especially in this area, because this isn't perfectly level here, my fault, the locomotives lean, and a little extra power would help out a lot, especially when it's traveling through the points. These curved turnouts are so long that for my 4-axle locomotives, they're completely on this side, not going to be touching anything that's actually connected to the stock rails here and here, getting really good power. Really all the power that comes from here to here on this switch when you're trying to go straight is by this little connection right here when the rail touches the other rail, which is not perfect. So by powering this, we will get a much better connection, and the locomotives will run a lot better. The tricky part is we have to build a switch that we can change the polarity of this so we don't cause shorts. So when I have it aligned to go straight, this is powered for the positive, and when I have it aligned to going the diverging route, it is powered for the negative. And that's why it takes a little bit of effort, and you can't just wire it up like you do most rails by just wiring your bus lines to it. You actually have to put a switch in, which is what we're going to do here. So I'm going to do a quick review of what I'm going to use. First of all, this is a double pole, double throw switch that I bought at Home Depot, less than $5 if I remember correctly. The good thing about this is it has 3 positions. So I can have power for the frog in the diverging route. I can have no power to the frog and power for the straight route. I don't know if a double pull, double throw is more than I need, because I don't think I need this many contacts. If you know, let me know. But I know this will work. I just don't know if it's more than I need. Some ring terminals so I can attach my feeders to my double pull, double throw switch. Tap splices so I can get into my bus wires, wire strippers, and other fun things that this does. I need my feeder wire, which I think this is, I don't know, it says 18 or 16. This is just what I've been using for feeder wires, and it's probably a little more than I need to have, but it works. And then one of my least favorite things, a solder iron and some solder. One of the great mysteries, I never feel like I do this well, so that's why I don't like it. But practice makes perfect, right? And then power drill and some drill bits. This one is to mount my double pull, double throw on the fascia, which I know is 1/2 inch. The hole is 1/2 inch, so this will work. And then this is to drill a hole so I can put my feeder wires down. To start this project off, it's going to be fairly simple. I just need to drill a hole down through my foam and my plywood for the feeder wires to come up and attach to this ring. And then I just need to strip the wires and solder them onto the ring so that the power can reach from both the positive and the negative to the frog. And next, I'm going to put some ring terminals on my feeder wires that are connected to my frog. Next thing I have to do is drill a hole in my fascia to install my double pull, double throw switch. I know from the packaging that the hole of the switch that will come through will be 1/2 inch, so that's what I'm going to do, is drill a 1/2 inch hole. And the test fit looks successful, so we're gonna move on to putting feeder wires from the switch to the bus line. Okay, so I skipped ahead a little bit because electronics are only so interesting. And what I've done is attach the 2 feeder wires that will come off of my bus line and to the switch. So unfortunately, the instructions on this double pull, double throw is it's not very clear as to which one of these do what on the back, which is not super helpful. They're labeled 1 through 6 on here, and then they're labeled A1, A2, A, and so on. So, you know, super helpful there, but I think we'll be able to get through it. From what I can tell, these are the 2 inbound ones. So my hope is that, and from what it looks like, is each row, the top row and the bottom row here are different ones. So if I put one into here and one into here, and then you can see I labeled these for clarity's sake, yard and siding, which one will be for which one. I'll be able to run the lines that I soldered to the frog to here and to here, and hopefully when I throw the switch, the bottom one, which is going to be the yard, will be powered for the yard, so you're able to enter the yard. The top one will be powered for the siding, so when I throw to the siding, it'll be good. I don't have any guarantees that that's how it's going to work, but I'm really hoping that I don't have to do a lot of just switching it around until I figure out the right combination. But like I said, this is not a how-to. This is watch me screw up. So far so good, but there's still time in this video. Right. So my feeder wire is coming from the frog down. I also labeled yard and siding just for simplicity's sake. You can't see them, but I'm going to attach them to here and then install this, and then this needs to get attached to the bus, and we'll be able to do some testing. Okay, yard is the top. I guess what I'm going to call the top. Well, that's great. Okay, so as you just saw, some of my crimps failed, which is partially my fault. I'm not going to lie about that. I'm going to guess it's because I'm not actually using a crimper like I should, but I'm just going to solder inside here just on all my crimps, just to make them a little more sturdy, hopefully. Okay, back under the layout. And this is why I say this is definitely not a do as I say. This is let's see how Gabe screws this up type video, because I'm sure I'm doing this wrong, this crimping and stuff. But it's kind of just the way that we're doing it right now. So if I find a better way, the next one will be better. But for right now, this is again not a how-to. This is just how I did it. Also, I realized that somehow I managed to label my yard and siding wrong on this switch, so I fixed that too. And honestly, it probably would have been easier had I just screwed all these wires into the switch and then started soldering them to like the frog and stuff. But again, you know, you live and you learn, and that's kind of what this video is about, and a lot of my videos are about. Okay, that one's on there. I don't want it to be too tight. I want a little play in this one because it's probably gonna kind of bend down a bit. Okay, now time to attach these to the buses, and it's the moment of truth to see if I get it right. Okay. Yep. I'm just going to insert my bus line for this one. Make sure I have the one labeled siding, because that's what I'm doing right now. Siding goes in there. I gotta close this on them. Make sure it's in there all the way. Yep, it's in there about as far as she can go. Okay, that's in there. That's good. Lock it up. And then this one will be for going into the yard. Oh, that one doesn't quite have that little buffer in it, but it's okay. Clamp down the blade. There we go. And then we should be able to close that. Now's the moment of truth to see if any of this actually works. Alright, so I turned on my DCC system, and it didn't immediately give me a short. So that's good. That means at least some of the wiring's been done correctly. And as you can see, the locomotives are going through the switch smoothly now. They're not perfect. I still get the occasional stutter from my my Jeep, but overall it's working much better. I feel like I'm more confident in my locomotives actually running through the switch, and I'm not going to have a short or have the locomotive stall out, which really just helps with the operations. So I plan on keeping the switch in the neutral position most of the time in order to go to the yard, which is the diverging route, and also kind of is the turn to the right. I have the switch going to the right, which worked on the first try. It was a bit of a long shot. I just hooked it up and hoped that I would have it going in the right direction, and it worked on the first try. Don't think that's ever going to happen again or anything, but it worked out well. And then when I go to the right or go to the left, it's for the siding, so it's working out pretty well. One thing to note is my switch only powers my frog on or off for the diverging routes. It does not switch my track. If you have a switch motor, I would suggest looking into some other way of doing this where you can connect it with your switch motor, which I believe is possible with double pull, double throw. Okay, so this was a really fast process. I'm not quite sure why I was so afraid of it, other than electronics tend to be boring. But that's just me. I think now that I know what I'm doing, I could probably do this entire project in an hour. As long as I got the supplies and stuff with me, it won't take long. The one thing that I still need to do is put a sign on by the switch so I know which direction is which, because I'm still kind of trying to figure that out. Even though I know left is the siding and right is the yard, it would be nice to have something with some writing there so I know which direction I'm going. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. Like I said, this wasn't my planned video, but as I was trying to do the next video that I wanted to do, I realized this was something I had to get done, and that's part of model railroading. Maybe take some of my advice, don't take it all. Yeah, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, and if you can, please watch another video. It greatly helps the channel. Alright, bye now.